Saint of the Day, November 28th, Saint James of the Marches. Saint James of the Marches was a Franciscan priest in the 15th century. He was born into a poor family in Monteprandone, Italy in 1391 and was educated by his uncle who was a priest. He continued his education, eventually achieving the degree of doctor in canon and civil law from the University of Perugia. He worked for some time as a tutor in a noble family, but on July 26, 1416, he was received into the order of Friars Minor in the chapel of the Portiuncula in Assisi. After completing his novitiate, he studied theology under Saint Bernardine of Siena. On June 13, 1420, Saint James was ordained a priest, and soon began to preach in Tuscany, in the Marches, and in Umbria. For half a century, he continued as a missionary and preacher. Saint James of the Marches preached penance, combated heretics, and was on legations in Germany, Austria, Sweden, Denmark, Bohemia, Poland, Hungary, and Bosnia. He was also appointed inquisitor against the Fratelli, a heretic sect that dissented from the Franciscans on the vow of poverty, among other things. He was offered the See of Milan in 1460, but he refused it. Inspired by St. James' apostolic example, more than 200 young men of Germany were impelled to enter the Franciscan order. The crowds who came to hear him were so great that the churches were not large enough to accommodate them, and it became imperative for him to preach in the public squares. At Milan he was instrumental in converting 36 women of bad repute by a single sermon on Saint Mary Magdalene. It is said that he brought 50,000 heretics into the church and led 200,000 non-believers to baptism. In addition, God granted Saint James such wisdom that popes and princes sought counsel from him. He possessed the gifts or miracles and of prophecy in great measure, yet his humility surpassed all those distinctions. On Easter Monday, 1462, Saint James, while preaching at Brescia, repeated the ideas of some theologians that the precious blood shed during the Passion was not united with the divinity of Christ during the 3 days of his burial. He was accused of heresy for saying that, but no discussion or resolution was ever granted to his case, and the matter was ignored or forgotten. James spent the last 3 years of his life at Naples, and was buried there in the Franciscan Church of Saint Maria la Nuova, where his body can be seen today. He was beatified by Urban VIII in 1624 and was canonized by Benedict XIII in 1726. Naples venerates him as one of its patron saints. Saint James of the Marches, pray for us. Carla Channel.